Is it possible to beat a hardcore Nuzlocke of Pokemon Shield with only Dragon types? It's harder than you might think. Dragon types are cool and powerful Pokemon, but their early forms are terribly weak, and Pokemon Shield has gyms to cover all of Dragon's weaknesses. So just how hard would a Dragon-only Nuzlocke be? Well, let's find out. I call myself Donkey because no one can tame a dragon quite like he can. The hardcore Nuzlocke rules are on screen now and in the description, so pause the video if you need a refresher. Our first problem is, where do we even find a Dragon-type starter Pokemon? Nope. Well, nope. But in the wild area, we can catch an Axew through a max raid. Donkey's first green friend gets the nickname Shrek, and over in the Isle of Armor, I catch a Goomy who's about as useful as it looks. I name it after a famous dragon, Imagine Dragons. Right now, our team sucks, so to make it a little better, I slapped a careful mint that I found onto Axew, and with a few Dragon Claws, we tear our way to Turffield for the first gym. Now, the first 3 gyms are all types that dragons resist, although our team is pretty garbage, and since I can't overlevel my team, use items in battle, or Dynamax my Pokemon, by no means would the early game be easy. First up is Milo, and my plan involves some dancing, more specifically, swords dancing. Milo's Gossifleur lead can't really do much to me, so I can max my attack with 3 Swords Dancers. From here, a few insanely boosted Dragon Claws take care of business, giving us Badge 1. On to Route 5, where we find our next encounter, Applin. Hang on, that's not a dragon, that's food! I remember back in the day when dragons used to look like dragons, houses were affordable, and I had to walk to school uphill, both ways. Anyway, I caught the Applin and named it Food. It's my most useless dragon yet, with awful stats and 0 useful moves. Garbage. Let's move on to Holbury.
Who's that Pokemon?
Do you want an easy way to earn cash and gift cards? And no, I don't mean farming Pokédollars, I mean real cash. Well, you can, with the sponsor of this video, YouGov. YouGov will pay you to sit on your butt and answer questions about topics like pop culture, politics, products, and brands. I like how you can fill out surveys whenever it suits you. For example, I filled one out while eating breakfast, which is cool because it kind of felt like I got paid to eat. You can answer surveys on things like TV shows, streaming, and whether you agree that Will Smith should be banned from the Oscars for slapping Chris Rock. I tried YouGov and plan to put the money I made towards buying Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Maybe filling out surveys could pay for your copy, or go towards buying a new console. To get started, click the link in the description to support the channel and start making some extra money. Thanks again to YouGov for sponsoring the video.
Shrek.
Nessa's cool and all, but I'm more curious about the guy having a staring contest with Wingull up there. Nessa's team is scary because unlike Milo, all 3 of her Pokemon outspeed Axew. To get around this, I'll need to do a different kind of dance. Dragon Dance. This increases my speed and attack, allowing me to now outspeed Nessa. With the Swords Dance bringing me to +3 attack, we're all clear to take Nessa's first 2 Pokemon down with Dragon Claw. Dynamax Dreadnought is a big boy, but a super effective superpower, combined with my rivalry ability, is enough to take it down, giving us badge number 2. It really has been an Axew solo run so far, but my options are really limited, and to make things worse, our next gym would be the hardest yet. Before that, Rose treats us to a meal, but I can't help but feel like I'm being watched. Axew crunches all over Bede in the second Galar Mine, and it's here that I catch Spyro the Noibat. And just like most of our Pokemon, it's garbage too. This double battle with Team Yell is probably the only time that they're really threatening. They lead with 2 strong Pokemon, and my partner is this little cotton ball. If Team Yell both attack into Axew, the run is pretty much over. And that's exactly what happened. But I used Protect on turn 1 to buy time. After that, Team Yell seems to have it in for Hop, mostly targeting him, allowing me to set up a Dragon Dance before sweeping through their Pokemon. So that was pretty dicey, but the battle with Marnie is much easier. By using Protect on every second turn, I buy time for the leftovers to recover my health, all while I boost my stats with Dragon Dance. At +2 attack and speed, a few Dragon Claws remove Krogunk and Scraggy, with Marnie's Morpeko going down to a super effective superpower. Even with her simps in the background, she didn't stand a chance. The next gym is by far the hardest yet. Not only are Kabu's NineTails and Arcanine strong, but they also love to inflict burn. That's a problem because burn halves my physical damage, and that's the stat that I need the most. So I'll need a strategy that not only avoids getting burned, but also one that works with my garbage team. After giving it some thought, I stepped up to Kabu for my hardest challenge yet. As expected, NineTails immediately burns me with Will-O-Wisp, but I gave Axu a Lumberry to heal this immediately. It is crucial that I use this turn to set up a substitute, as while this is up, it'll protect me from being burned. It takes NineTails 2 turns to break my sub, allowing Axu to boost its stats with a Dragon Dance, followed by Swords Dance. Now I'm faster than NineTails, so once it does break my sub, I can simply set up another one. This strategy lets me max my attack and boost my speed. It's important that I still have a substitute up when I take NineTails down with Dragon Claw, because this means that Arcanine's Intimidate ability won't hit me, so I get to keep my +6 attack. With another Dragon Claw, Arcanine goes down. Gigantamax Center Scorch is a behemoth. Even with my boosts, it survives a Dragon Claw, but my substitute guarantees that I survive one attack, allowing me to finish the fight on the next turn, earning our 3rd badge. So that first part of the game was really an Axu solo run, and while we will get some stronger Pokemon going forward, now we have to deal with the upcoming gyms that specialize in Dragon's weaknesses. Apparently, if you give the person you like an Applin, you'll be together forever. And then this kid asks us to give him an Applin, and I do. So does that mean we're together? Actually, he just wanted my Applin to give to someone else. Okay, rude. I thought we had something special, but whatever. She rejects him, and we get our Applin back, as well as the sweet apple to evolve my Applin into an Appleton. I love Appleton and its adorable little apple helmet. It looks so wholesome, until you read its Pokedex entry and learn that children rip the skin off its back and eat it. That's messed up. Next, I caught a Trapinch in the wild area and named it...
It's a trap!
It's not a dragon yet, but it will be when it evolves. On Route 6, we kind of just glue 2 halves of 2 completely different Pokemon together to create this abomination. And apparently, Dracovic can run at 40 miles per hour. The thought of this thing chasing me is straight nightmare fuel. I call it Dragoon after the Beyblade. But that's not even the weirdest Pokemon we're gonna get. Oh no, the honor of that goes to our next encounter. On the Isle of Armor, if you find enough Diglett, this madman gives you an Alolan Exeggutor. Yeah, this 900-pound tree is a dragon. I call it tree because, let's be honest, that's all it is, and move on to Stowonside for the next gym. Our team is still really weak, but we do have more options now. Against Alistar's ghost types, I lead with Exeggutor, who is too tall to even fit in the frame. I set up Leech Seed for passive recovery each turn, and on top of that, I set up Light Screen and Reflect to reduce the damage we take. With this combo, it's completely safe to bring Axu in, buff my stats like crazy with our dance moves, before absolutely ripping Alistar's Pokemon apart with Crunch one by one. In Bologna, we get 2 really important items, the Choice Scarf and Eviolite, which will be really useful since most dragons evolve at a high level. The next gym uses fairy types, which were pretty much created to counter dragons, so this could be deadly. After Shrek evolved into Fraxure, I stormed Opal's gym, ready to face what dragons fear most. Now, I was hoping to lead with my tree and do the same setup that we did against Alistar, but after setting up Light Screen, that big, goofy wheezing crit me and I was poisoned. That was the worst start possible, although I do have some backup with Appleton, who can switch in and set up Leech Seed for me. But my luck didn't get any better, as Fraxure gets poisoned as soon as I switch it in. Although, I prepared for this, and my Lumberry cures it right away. A Fairy Wind from Wheezing would do big damage, but my Light Screen and Leech Seed help to mitigate this. This gives me enough time for Dragon Dance and Swords Dance to boost my stats. With this setup, a Poison Jab finishes Wheezing, Dig buries Mawile, and a few more Poison Jabs give us the win. That's the Fairy Badge done, but it's really the next gym that worries me the most. But before that, Opal abducts Bede, probably to absorb his youth or something. Hop and I compare our trees, and yes, mine's much bigger, thank you for asking. This fight was actually pretty scary. I got some bad luck against Trevenant and had to risk a crit. It paid off in the end, but that could have been tragic. Next is Sirchester City, and if you can't tell, the gym leader uses ice types. This one horrifies me because my team is so weak to ice it's not even funny. Like, I'm sure a drink with some ice cubes in it would probably knock out half my team. So I needed a plan, and the first step was to get my next encounter from the Isle of Armor, Druddigon. I creatively name it after one of my favorite dragons, Dragon from Shrek. And yes, that does mean that in canon, my character and Druddigon are quite close. Melanie looks friendly, and I'd let her step on me, but her Ice-type Pokemon could easily wipe my team. I've given Dratigan the Choice Scarf for a speed boost, and taught it the move Iron Head. Not only is this super effective against Ice types, but it also gets a power boost from Dratigan's ability. This combo is wild, one-shotting Frostmoth and the Darmanitan that follows. Ice-Q is more annoying due to its Ice Face ability, so it manages to land huge damage onto Dratigan with Freeze Dry. I am able to finish it off with one more Iron Head, but Melanie's Gigantamax Lapras is the real threat. Dratigan can't do much more, and I really don't have a safe switch, which means, sadly, Dratigan had to be sacrificed. Our first death. He was so young, damn it. I go with Dracovish next, since it's my only Pokemon not weak to Ice. First, I need to stall out the Dynamax and Aurora Veil. To do this, I use Substitute, which effectively limits Lapras's damage to 25% per turn. Once Dynamax ends, I can also use Protect to stall some more. I could have lost Dracovish here, but had to take the risk. Once Aurora Veil is no more, I eventually hit 2 Stone Edges, giving us the win in what was definitely our hardest battle yet. Dratigan, more like Druddy gone. It does suck to lose a Pokemon, but that could have been way worse. However, the next gym is a different story. Piers doesn't Dynamax his Pokemon, and Dark types are a neutral matchup. I was an absolute pest in this battle. I led with Exeggutor, and tried my usual setup, but kept missing Giga Drains, so switched into Appleton, and 1 Apple Acid was enough to finish Scrafty. This is where I had to use some filthy tactics. Appleton's ability means that a Citrus Berry will restore 50% of my health rather than the usual 25%. Combo this with the move Recycle, and Appleton becomes a stalling monster. It feels dirty, but with this combo, Leech Seed, and Protect, I can gradually wear down Malamar and the Obstagoon after that. Last is Skuntank, but once I'm poisoned by Toxic, I can't keep stalling. With a switch into Flygon, 1 Earthquake seals the win, earning me the 7th badge.
I like that boulder. That is a nice boulder.
Leon does kind of resemble Lord Farquaad, which makes him a fitting final boss. But before that, we had to face the last gym leader, and Raihan is scary. He uses dragons too, and it's a double battle, which makes things way more dangerous. To prepare, I went to the Isle of Armor and got 2 new encounters, Dragalge and a horsey named Haku. With a few evolutions, our team got a much needed upgrade, and now I was ready for Raihan. His Flygon is a threat, so I have Haxorus immediately take it out with Dragon Claw. A Scald from Kingdra wasn't enough to finish Gigalith though, allowing it to set up Stealth Rock. This is exactly the position I wanted to be in, because it means that on the next turn, Haxorus can finish off Gigalith with a Dragon Claw, and Kingdra can one-shot Sandaconda with a boosted Scald. This is important, as Raihan's Dynamax Duraludon is a monster, but at least with this approach, I get to make it a 2-on-1. I have Kingdra Protect on the next turn, so it won't be hit by Haxorus' Earthquake, and this does big damage to Duraludon. Unfortunately though, Duraludon charged up its G-Max Dragon move, and the target was Shrek.
Can't do this to me, Shrek. I'm too young for you to die. Don't die, Shrek. If you see a long tunnel, stay away from the light.
You monster! You killed Shrek! I sent Dracovish out next, as it also knows Earthquake and is holding the Choice Band. I had to switch Kingdra out into Flygon to make sure that there's no friendly fire. This is risky, as a crit would have killed Flygon, but it just hung on. The Earthquake from Dracovish just didn't finish Duraludon, but another one on the next turn from Flygon was enough to seal the win. We'd gotten our 8th badge, but at an enormous cost. Shrek was dead. Friends, it's time to pay our respects. A trip through Route 10 is never complete without spitting on Cabby Jeffrey, although I came really close to losing a Pokemon against a random trainer on this route. This could have gone really bad, but I made it through. We're now in Winden for the final leg of the challenge, and some of the hardest battles were still ahead of us. Before that, we had to rematch our rivals, Marnie and Hop. But both of these fights were pretty easy, with Flygon setting up some Dragon Dancers before quickly sweeping through their teams. So Rose Tower is right there, but apparently we can't get there without the special key to ride the monorail? Seriously? I've got mythical dragons in my pocket, let's just fly over there. But after slapping some goons around, we come face to face with the dominatrix, Oleana. If looks could kill, I'd be dead right now. This battle is actually tough because her Frostlass is a menace. My team does not deal well with ice types, and this one is really fast. So I lead with my only Pokemon that's neutral to ice, and I've given it the Choice Scarf for a speed boost. I got a lucky flinch, but this wasn't really needed, and I finished Frostlass with 2 Iron Heads. I'm locked into Iron Head by my Choice Scarf, so switch into Goodra to deal with Salazzle. I take big damage from Dragon Pulse, but my Citrus Berry buys me enough time to set up the rain
before finishing Salazzle with a Water Pulse on the next turn. Serena brings Gudra to very low health, but a switch into Flygon lets me take it out with Dragon Claw. Next is Oleana's Milotic, and this is where I can set up. With my tree seeding Milotic and setting up Light Screen, I can bring Kingdra out, and it's free real estate to max out my attack and speed with Dragon Dance. From here, a few liquidations drown Milotic and finish the giant toxic pile of trash. Side note, what is this? Is it a leather collar? If so, I have so many questions. Backtracking to Route 10, I caught a Duraludon whose steel typing will be really helpful against Bede and his fairies. His Mawile only knows physical attacks, so I set up Reflect on turn 1. My tree could be crushed by Play Rough, but a Roselli Berry helps me survive long enough to also set up a Leech Seed. This lets Duraludon come in, max out its attack and defense, as well as set up Substitute. This plan means that an Iron Head can finish Mawile and Gardevoir. My Substitute absorbs the Dazzling Gleam from Rapidash, and a few more Iron Heads can wrap up Bede's last 2 Pokemon. The rematches with Nessa and Alistar are both pretty straightforward. With Exeggutor's Screens and Leech Seed, Flygon can set up a bunch of Dragon Dances before ripping their teams apart and tossing them in the trash. Easy. Let's move on. But the next battle is against the Shrek Killer Raihan, and this time it's personal. It's a Dragon-type showdown, and Raihan leads with cool dragon you got there. The biggest problem with Torkoal is it can put you to sleep with Yawn or burn you with Lava Plume. It sets up the sun with its drought ability, so I lead with Gudra and change the weather to rain. This should prevent the AI from using Lava Plume, meaning I won't be burned. A switch into my goofy tree lets me set up Leech Seed, before switching once more into Flygon. Now I can set up multiple Dragon Dances, and while Torkoal does put me to sleep, my Lumberry cures this instantly. With my stats through the roof, Flygon can slay Raihan's dragons one after another. This one's for Shrek, goddammit. I feel uncomfortable with Inteleon just standing there, hitting a sassy pose. You're not people! Stop judging me! Sonya's just hanging out alone in the woods at night, which is weird, but whatever. Now I grab my last 2 remaining encounters, Dracloak named Shenron, and a Drampa named Blue Eyes. Okay, I know it has red eyes, but just roll with it, okay? It was at this point that I did something really dumb. I switched up the team, mainly because I wanted to use our new dragons, and it did not go well. My plan for Rose went something like this. Now, Drampa is slow, like really slow, so to speed it up, I led with Dracloak and used an agility before baton passing into Drampa. This passes my speed boost onto Drampa. Its special attack is already nuts, but even more so after Escavalier activates my Berserk ability. So I started running wild, destroying Escavalier and Ferrothorn with Flamethrower. I set up the Sun against Berserker for an even bigger boost, melting it down with a Flamethrower too. Things were going well until I didn't realize that Klinklang would still outspeed me, and sadly, our new Drampa was already gone. I went into Noivern next, who took a big chunk of damage, but was able to finish Klinklang off. Problem is, Noivern really can't do much to Copperaja, and it too falls on the next turn. With 2 Earthquakes from Flygon, we'd finally taken out the big elephant in the room and defeated the most suave Pokemon villain. It really sucks to lose 2 Pokemon so close to the end, although the losses didn't stop there, because next we have to fight Eternatus. The one-on-one battle wasn't too bad. I just gave Duraludon the Choice Scarf and was able to take it down with 2 Outrages, but the raid battle is where things went wrong. Due to my Scarf, I'll be locked into one move, so my plan is to spam Substitute, protecting my Duraludon while the other Pokemon do all the work. Is it a coward move? Absolutely, but it is safe. At least that's what I thought. The other Pokemon were so slow to damage Eternatus, and the battle went on for a really long time. And here is where I had a tiny brain moment. Without realizing, I'd run out of Substitute PP, forcing me to struggle. This actually killed Eternatus, but the recoil damage also killed me. We'd saved the day, but I lost some brain cells in the process. On the bright side, I finally got my Dragapult, and I absolutely loved the 2 little Dreepy just chilling on its head. But now, only one challenge remained. Could my dragons conquer the champion? Let's find out. We stepped up to Leon, aka Farquaad, and his insane roster. Like most of the run, I led with my ridiculous looking tree and set up a Leech Seed, followed by Light Screen, and then Reflect. From here, it's dancing time. All my setup, combined with Leftovers and Protect, allows me to dance my way to +4 attack and speed. With Aegislash falling to an Earthquake on the following turn, Leon sends out his Haxorus, and a single tear falls down my cheek as I remember our boy Shrek. Regardless, a Dragon Claw rips it to shreds, as well as the Dragapult that follows. Seismitoad falls to an Earthquake, and Cinderace gets the same treatment. While Charizard does live an attack, Flygon survives a max Overgrowth. One last Dragon Claw on the next turn finishes Charizard, and And with that, our dragons had conquered a hardcore Nuzlocke of Pokemon Shield. For more Pokemon content, jump into this video next. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.